What's up, YouTube? Southern Comic Geek coming to you with another, you guessed it, comic book haul. So before we get into that, I want to encourage you, beg of you, if you would go ahead and hit that like button, lightly tap it, smash it, whatever you want to do, backhand it if you'd like, but hit it anyways you like, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And what was the other thing? Oh, yes, the bell notification, so that when videos like this drop ever so randomly, you can make the conscious decision as to whether or not to watch it live or on the rewind. But in either case, we appreciate you watching. So, I do have some books from various shops that I was able to pick up, as well as a deal from Shelby Comics, who sells on Metaphorical's Midnight Market. I don't think he sells every time, but he does sell often there. And I believe I got some others from somewhere else, but I'll remember as I come along. What's going on, Hidden Gem Comics? How are you? And so Superior Hero Views joining us. Ruben Guzman, Cowabunga. Yep, that's why I'm here. I'm all about the live shows. Some Comic Book Hunter, thank you for joining us. So, yes. There's a shop in Monroe, Louisiana called Infinity Comics. It's downtown Monroe, or West Monroe as they call it. And so if you ever through there, be sure to check it out. It's looks like a hole in the wall shop. Shop owner has owned different shops over the years and is very talkative with you. And so if you're looking for the conversation that you get in the old type comic book store, as well as might find a gem or two, then certainly there. He does not order a lot of new books, that is, just because he doesn't have the funds available, as it were, and doesn't want to get stuck with a bunch of new books. Basically, he takes care of his pull list, and then he has a few here and there. But on this occasion, it worked well because for some reason my comic book shop missed it. I don't know if it was Diamond. I don't know if it's my LCS. I really don't care. I missed it. And I knew he had it there, but I passed over it the last time I was there. But then my comic book shop, LCS that is, had told me, hey, look, if you find it somewhere else, go ahead and pick it up. The worst come to worst, it comes in. It's just one comic book. I'll put it on the shelf. Okay. And so we've got Rye number 6. Knew how to have a little Valiant love in there. So we've been digging the Rye series. It's kind of like a old school Western, little sci-fi action there. Dan Abnett does the writing. And so it's been pretty cool. And so I picked that up from them. There's a bigger store in Shreveport, Louisiana called Excalibur Comics. They are having a signing there this weekend. So if you were into signing and you were near Shreveport, Louisiana, Michael Golden, and that is if you're a Michael Golden fan, who's best known for Micronauts and some other stuff that he helped create, Rogue, for Avengers Annual 10. And so, yeah, he'll be there. I don't know if he's doing any sketch covers, but I know he'll be doing a signing there this Saturday, which will be October the 3rd, just in case you're watching this on the rewind. If you're interested in that, Google Excalibur Comics, Shreveport, Louisiana, and maybe they will have some details on their website. But I picked this up there. I always like to pick up the Marvel previews just to see kind of what's coming out and keep those. I haven't been picking up the X Factor. I want to get the number 1 or number 2, which was an homage to Hulk 181, but that's a special. I forget who done that cover, but you can't just get in your LCS. But this is part 2 of the X of Swords. Somebody dies in here, and they figure out as to why the person cannot be resurrected. So kind of setting the stage for what's fixed to go down, because if they die in this other world where Apocalypse's children are at, they cannot be resurrected. So if they're going to go fight there, that is the risk that they take. So kind of setting that up. I imagine they're probably going to kill off, use the opportunity to go ahead and kill off some of the lacking characters, some of the characters that they resurrected that nobody really cared for. But hey, we resurrect them because we can resurrect everybody right now. I figure they'll use this opportunity to go ahead and kill them back off again. I might be wrong, but we'll see. Got the other good thing about Excalibur, besides the selection, you don't get any kind of uh, dialogue back and forth with the comic shop owner or the worker there. He's got the personality of a dish rag, but they do have a selection there, including indie news, new books. And so sometimes these books like this, if I don't see them ahead of time or I get on a little too late, my LCS is out of it. I mean, so they don't even pick things up like this out. Um, Okay. Hidden Gem is doing a 100 sub giveaway. Good to hear. So everybody check him out. But so like Seven Secrets. So I happened to be in Atlanta, Georgia, at a shop there. Picked up the In-Hook League cover of Seven Secrets. It was okay. Cover was probably the best thing about it, but it was kind of setting up some stuff, and so this one kind of continued that on. I'll probably pick it up for the next few issues at least, and then we'll go from there as to whether or not I keep picking it up. Another one that I was a little late, but I was able to get most of them because it was still a relatively new comic, and that is Savage Avengers. It has fallen off as to me as far as storyline. The covers are still killer, interior art, but they're fixing to be ending this comic. So this is the only 2-3 more issues I think maybe left in this, and so I'll pick it up to the end and we'll go from there. David Ewing, what's going on? Thanks for joining us. This is another one, Department of Truth. Kind of a weird concept, but basically, hey, all these conspiracy theories you hear about are true. It kind of leans towards, well, the reason why they're true is because these people right here make them true, which is kind of a weird concept. But, and then the guy at the end, I won't spoil it for you if you haven't read it and you want to read it, but the guy at the end, you're like, wait a minute, this guy's been talking, this is his name. It is a person in history, not a famous person, an infamous person, but yes, he is the one of the characters in the book. So we'll see. I'll pick it up for at least next couple of deals. So I picked this up mainly because Tinian, whatever he calls him, is pronounce his name. He's writing this. And so he's been doing some great work with Something's Killing the Children and Batman. So I said, well, hey, I'm going to give him a shot on this one and see how it goes. I picked up this number 3 of this series in a YouTube auction with some other books I was really going after, and this just came with it. So I picked up number 4, which just came out, and this is the last issue. I've got to go back and pick up number 1 and number 2. For the people that have read it, I've heard that it's pretty good. Transformers fan, liked Terminator, at least the first 2. And so thought it was a pretty good concept. IDW likes throwing all these things together, like Transformers and My Little Ponies. Don't know if I can get into that one, but hey, to each their own. So I got the main 2 covers of this for my LCS, but as I understand it, you have to order X amount to be able to get these. They're not ratio variants. You just got to have X amount in order to get to these. And so I picked these up at Excalibur because, like I said, they do have a large selection, and I got the different card. My LCS did not have those. So I don't know why that is, but so I got all of the main covers. Little Joker trying to be all intelligente. Little put up, a little makeup, kind of reminiscent of the Batman 89, where the Joker puts on the makeup to cover his white face. And then, of course, Joker behind bars, where he really belongs, right? He doesn't stay there very often. But if you haven't been reading that series, definitely check it out. 3 Jokers, number 1. They sold a buttload of those things, even put it into second printing with a different cover. Go figure. And so the next one, this number 2, I will tell you this, was not as good as number 1, but it was good. Okay, so number one kind of set a high threshold as far as all the action that went down, how it ended, all of the various things that Jason Fabok drew into the Batcave. It's kind of set a high bar to overcome. However, this one was really good as well. I like the dynamic between Batgirl and Jason Todd and how she dealt with the trauma, as it were. I did see in another video, and so I won't take credit for this idea, but I feel like that Jeff Johns did a better job at handling trauma that some of these superheroes probably would go through if they were real, better than what Tom King did. You know, his was total character assassination of Wally West, whereas it's like, okay, you know, you can see Jason Todd kind of would go through some things in his mind. Well, wait a minute. Basically, Barbara Gordon was the same way. How'd she deal with it? And Batman comes out and says, "Hey, look, I'd hope that he would have dealt with it better, and just like you did." So, what's going on, Flash Ray Videos? How are you? William Smallwood, thanks for joining. Perry Lurking and Twerking, what's going on? Then we got a couple more off of the Batman list. And so dead through Excalibur's various back issue bins. Yes, she is going to become Oracle again. I don't know, because I don't typically pick up Batgirl, but I've been picking all the Joker War tie-ins. And so the one where she fights Joker and she loses the use of her legs for at least until the next issue and they fix it, kind of made me wonder if that's where they were going with it. I don't know if she's going to be permanently disabled or in a wheelchair, but I think that, or I know that she's going back to being Oracle in, I think, Batman 100, which comes out next week. She is going back to being that. And to me, when they redone it all, it totally took away from the character, because to me, when that happened, it was a really good story as far as the Killing Joke. And, you know, she didn't let that keep her down, right? So she basically adjusted to life's circumstance and she became better than what she was before. And so when they rebooted everything and all of a sudden now we got all this technology that didn't exist all this whole time. And so now she can walk again, no holds barred. It just, to me, took away from the character. So her going back to Oracle, whether it's because she can't walk or just because she says, "Hey, I'm tired of running through the streets at night in this costume," and because of what happened in the recent Batgirl issue with her brother, you know, I don't know, but in either case, I think that DC has kind of gotten some of the point of some of the de-evolution of the characters. That, hey, look, these people that are reading these comics, they like this old terms. The whole Rick Grayson deal, Batgirl, I feel like some people, you know, bought into it, you know, and bought Batgirl because they liked, you know, Barbara Gordon, but I don't think that they really dug it. So we'll see. Yes. So they were basically setting up some of the direction that's going to happen after Batman 100 with that story, with those stories that are in there. I don't know that I really liked the Batwing story, just from the standpoint of, okay, now, no, we're going to keep Bruce Wayne's riches. Really? Would that be what they really do? I don't know, but my understanding was that that's going to actually be a black label deal. I might be wrong; they might have changed their mind or something, but I think that story is actually going to be a black label, so kind of Elseworlds type deal. Because I just don't see them making Bruce Wayne broke because, you know, Catwoman gave all of his money away. That didn't really make any sense to me. But hey, who knows? It might be something that lasts for a year. But the other stories, how they kind of demasked Clown Hunter. Don't know who he is just yet, but they kind of demasked him and he took on that clown. That was kind of cool. Signal and, okay, who's going to be the next Batgirl? That was kind of cool as well. So yeah, I really like where they're going. It's old school. Hey, look, old school sales. Obviously, look at what is selling. It's not Superman where Bendis feels like he has to reinvent the wheel. What's selling is Batman, and what's Tiny and doing old school, diehard Batman, bringing the fam together to take down the criminals. The main criminal being Joker. You don't see much of Catwoman in the picture. So the whole Tom King romance thing where Batman's going to settle down, that's kind of going into the Batman Catwoman deal that's going to carry on. And for those people that like that story, they can go to that. But as far as old school Batman, he's going to pull the fam together. They're going to be stronger together than they are separately. And so I feel like that is going to, or that's what's selling the comics right now. And so why not do that? Hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Why do we have to make statements? Why do we have to go woke and go broke? Why do we have to do all these new things? You have little nuances and it's character development, not de-evolution. Development means you're going in the right way. You don't want to devolve into something that's less. So I was going through Excalibur's Batman back issues and got Batman 370 to try to focus. I'll show you one in a minute that I got off focus with, but try to focus on the 370s and filling in those gaps in the 300s. That's 371, 374. And so that way I can, because there's still so many Batman to be had out there. So we've got 375. I was able to complete my Exo Manowar set, if anyone cares. So I got the Volume 1 Exo Manowar 52 and 64. Those are the last two I needed for Volume 1 of Exo Manowar. Flash Ray says, I love how Joker just digs into Bane at the core. Yes. I forgot about that story that's in there. But yes, that is a good one. And it said, hey, this is setting things up. Joker, it's like is explaining, hey, look, man, you had this awesome opportunity, and hopefully I'm not spoiling this for anybody, but you had this awesome opportunity to take Batman to the core, which is what I'm trying to do, and you blew it. You did it to Rob. You did it in front of Robin when you killed Alfred, but I mean, Batman was the one you needed to do this in front of, but whatever. But yeah, that was a good story. So we got Exo Manowar number 16. This is from the Volume 2 after Acclaim had started rebranding Valiant. So this is 16, number 19, and number 20, which completes the Volume 2 run of Exo for me. So I was glad to pick that up, which I've completed Volume. I've got all of Volume 3 now too. This is the incredible Hulk. No, I've already showed these comics. I showed this. All right, so I got these in the mail from Shelby Comics. I got a few more than this, but I already had them, so I've already put them in my sale bin. Yeah, well, and what I meant by that, Hidden Gem, was, Valiant is not Marvel and DC. It is the third largest connected universe. Unfortunately, right now, Valiant is underutilized, I think. When they relaunched it back in 2010, 2012, I mean, they really had their finger to the pulse of what the comic book industry was wanting and producing, and was putting out some great content. But since then, that guy's gone. And it's interesting to hear, is it Bad Boy Comics? I just was watching Comic Tom did a video interview with him, and it's this new comic book that's coming out. And so what's going on, Regressively Relaxing? It's this new comic book coming out, and he was the guy that spearheaded all the stuff at Valiant. Of course, I like the stuff back from the 90s, back in the Jim Shooter, Bob Layton days. And then, like I said, he was kind of spearheading all that. Robert Venditti, if you like Robert Venditti on the various stuff he's done, Hawkman, done a little Justice League lately. But if you want to read some good Robert Venditti and a good jumping on point, read the third volume of Exo Manowar that came out in 2010 or 2012. Basically, where they kind of restart the series, and so it's a really good thing. So if you check it out on Comixology or something like that. But I picked up Dr. Mirage number 4. A little more about it. So got from Shelby Comics number 5. He actually had a whole run, and unfortunately, I just bought some of them off of IG. But Dr. Mirage number 7, number 9, number 10, number 11, 12, 13. Immortal Biggie Shack is in the house. Biggie. Yeah, we got 14. Got 6. And we got 15, which I think this series stopped with 17 is where I think it stopped at. Picked up the Punchline poster. So this is what I meant by I got a little off. So I got this for $30 at Infinity Collectibles there in Monroe. This is Batman 159. It's probably about a 2.0. Looks like somebody decided to color some more things or lipstick for Joker. But this is not really Joker. That's Clayface there. Not to spoil it, but it is a 12 center. But yeah, so Batman 159, some Silver Age goodness. Haven't been picking up Excalibur. Probably will pick up the X of Swords crossovers for that. But yeah, so I picked this one up because this is the prelude. Excalibur number 12. Hellions number 4, which is one that I've been kind of, I'm not sure if I want to continue on, but I probably will get all of the tie-ins to the X of Swords event because I'm a sucker and Marvel says we love you for it. They should send me a Christmas card or something, you know? But anyway, so look, that's all I've got. Didn't expect this to be a super long haul. I know JB Discovery Bay is going on at 1:30 Central Time. And so be sure to check that out. Also, I will be selling books with the Saturday morning cartoon crew on Shortbox Padawan's channel at 1 o'clock Central Time tomorrow. So be sure to check that out if you're interested in any books. X-Men, Spider-Man, Image, whatever. So Flash Ray is in the confessional booth and says, I bought all of Empire. Yes, Marvel loves you for it. I actually heard the Empire wasn't as bad as what people made it out to was going to be, but still didn't buy, and I had enough other stuff that I was buying versus getting into all the Empire, especially when you're talking about all the connected crossovers and that type of thing. So yeah, tomorrow at 1 o'clock, Shortbox Padawan's channel, I will be doing an auction there. Also, am going to be doing a 600 subscriber giveaway. That is the New Mutants 98, 9.4 CGC slab, and the Deadpool first appearance pop. So those details will be released shortly, but you will need to be 18 years or older and need to be a subscriber to the channel. So if you have not already become a subscriber to the channel, go ahead and do that, and I will be releasing details shortly. We're only 21 away from hitting 500, and I'll be doing some more other giveaways there. So we'll see how that goes. Really enjoyed Empire. Honestly, the tie-ins were better, in my opinion, though. Yeah. Sometimes that works out that way. I think I got a few of the X-Men ones. They were just kind of on the edge of being related to Empire, but yeah, so sometimes it works out that way. And look, if you into the tie-ins are fine as long as you don't have to buy them in order to get the main story. Yeah, but when you start making people get the story, it becomes a little too much. But hey, I like self-contained titles too. What about Secret Wars from back in the day? You didn't have to go buy all this other stuff. Now, Secret Wars 2, they said, no, we need to sell everything to everybody. So you had all these crossovers with that or tie-ins to it. But yeah, be sure to check that out and hit the sub button if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up button as well, so that you can know what is going on here. Slim Comics, what's going on? Thanks for joining. Just bought a bunch of Savage Sword of Conan Max. Cool. X of Swords has only, 3 core books, and the rest are all tie. Yeah. Well, the good thing about that on those tie-ins for those X-Men books is the fact that I'm buying most of them already anyway. So like X-Force and Wolverine and Cable, I'm already buying those anyway. So it's really nothing extra that I'm buying. So yeah, you're right. X of Swords is definitely a big cash grab. The Captain Marvel books were good, but you need the tie-ins for the main story. The tie-ins showed how different characters and areas were affected by the big event. Yeah. Well, we were talking earlier about DC going back to the basics with Batman, and look, I mean, that's the big seller, right? Is Batman and Batman-related titles. I think that Marvel would do well to take note of that, and if they put Captain Marvel back to age-old Captain Marvel and quit trying to force things, I'd be more inclined to read it. But Captain Marvel's had some killer Mark Brooks covers over the last couple of months. What's going on, Warlord? How are you? But yeah, so thanks everybody for joining. Again, didn't expect this to be too terribly long, but I had a little time, so I wanted to get this out of the way. Check if you're interested in buying some books. Check me and the others that are going to be there on Shortbox Padawan's channel tomorrow at 1 o'clock, or Saturday, October the 3rd. If you're catching this at a later time, check those out, and then smash the like button, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you can know when videos like this drop ever so randomly, because guess what? YouTube's not helping none of that out. And until next time, keep reading and keep collecting.